Hello, good morning. Please, anyone, please respond. Hello, please respond, anyone. Hello.
Sir.
Okay, okay. మా యాక్చువల్గా ఫస్ట్ అవర్ ఏఈ అనుకున్నాం.
అవును సార్.
వేరే కారణాలతో సార్ తీసుకోలేదు. ఇంకేం పంపించలేదుగా?
ఇంకా లేదు సార్.
సరే సరే. సో సెకండ్ అవర్ నేను తీసుకున్నాను, ఇప్పుడే తీసుకుంటానమ్మా.
ఓకే సార్.
నెక్స్ట్ థర్డ్ అవర్ యాజ్ యూజువల్ టీఆర్పీ గారు తీసుకుంటారు.
ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే. మా స్క్రీన్ విజిబిలిటీ ఎలా ఉంది సార్? స్క్రీన్ ఇస్ ఇట్ విజిబుల్?
ఎస్ సార్.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I will wait for 5 more minutes. Okay. $29 members. Sir, good morning to all. In previous class, we have completed the liquid penetrant test. Okay. Actually, second unit, third unit is both combination of liquid penetrant and eddy current method. Okay, first I will complete magnetic particle test. Later, I will complete eddy current method also. Okay. Okay, today's topic is magnetic particle testing. Okay, until now we have learned about radiography, ultrasonic test, and liquid penetrant test. Three methods are covered in previous classes. Okay, and the next method is magnetic particle non-destructive testing method. Okay, here first we see the syllabus. Okay, next we go for concepts. Okay, what is the syllabus we have? First one is magnetic materials. What are the different types of magnetic materials? And magnetization. What is meant by magnetization? What are the different methods used for magnetization of materials? And the next concept is demagnetization. What is demagnetization? How to do this demagnetization after completion of test? What is the need of demagnetization? And what are the different methods used for demagnetization of materials? This is the next concept. Next, principle of magnetic particle test. Principle of magnetic particle test. Okay. Next, magnetic particle test equipment. What kind of equipment we need? Okay, for magnetic particle testing. Next one is magnetic particle test procedure. What are the different steps followed for conducting the magnetic particle test? And the next topic is standardization and calibration. Next one is standardization and calibration. Next one is interpretation and evaluation of results obtained from the magnetic particle test. And next one is effective applications and limitations of the magnetic particle test. These are the contents, okay, comprised by our syllabus. That is fourth unit. Okay. Okay, now we see one by one. Okay, first see the syllabus carefully. Next, I will explain one by one. Okay, now you know magnetic particles. What is magnet? You know, it attracts some materials. Okay, so some materials we can classify the magnetic particles into materials into three types. One is ferromagnetic materials, second one is paramagnetic materials, and third one is diamagnetic material. Depending on their behavior in the magnetic field, we can classify the magnetic materials into three types. One is ferromagnetic, paramagnetic, and diamagnetic. Okay, now we see the difference between the ferromagnet and paramagnet and diamagnetic materials. See this table. You can easily differentiate the difference between ferromagnetic, paramagnetic, and one more diamagnetic. Here, see this. This is if there is no magnetic field in the material, means the absence of magnetic field material. These are the orientation of crystals inside the material. See this. Diamagnetism, this is a neutral zero magnetic moment. Okay, here paramagnetism, all crystals are oriented in different directions. Okay, means all crystals are arranged in different directions, random manner. And ferromagnetic materials, okay, okay, in ferromagnetic, okay, the all crystals means all elements in the material are oriented in say one direction. Okay, now if there is a magnetic field present, okay, if there is a magnetic field present, means if you magnetize the material, what happened? In diamagnetic materials or elements are aligned in opposite field, means it is the orientation of the molecules are reversed to the magnetic field we are applying. Okay, next in paramagnetism, okay, if you apply the magnetism to the material, what will happen? All are arranged in the direction of magnetic field, means all molecules are arranged in the direction of the magnetic field. And third one is, okay, ferromagnetism. Okay, ferromagnetism, what will happen? Here already the elements are in same orientation. If you apply the magnetic field, all molecules are aligned in a sequence manner, okay, like this, okay, in a perfect sequence manner. Okay, this is the without magnetic field, the orientation of molecules, and with magnetism, the orientation of molecules is like this. Okay, see this. Now magnetism of material means this is the relationship between the, okay, magnetism of material. Okay, see this. This is the relation between the M and H. Okay, here this is the reverse manner because the orientation is reversed to the magnetic field, so it is arranged in the relationship is linear but in opposite direction. But here all magnetic particles are arranged in same direction of the magnetic field, so the linear relationship is in this direction. Okay, this is the ferromagnetic material, the relationship between M and H. Now the susceptibility, here diamagnetism, the susceptibility is negative, here positive and small, here positive and large, and a relative permeability is, this is less than 1, this is greater than 1. Here ferromagnetic material have very large relative permeability. These are the difference between the three types of materials: diamagnetism, paramagnetism, and ferromagnetism. Here ferromagnetic materials are more effective, okay, more easily magnetized when you try to magnetize the ferromagnetic materials. The magnetic properties are more in ferromagnetic materials. Please once observe in clean manner, okay, the difference between the diamagnetism, paramagnetism, and ferromagnetism. The behavior of material, okay, in the magnetic field differs the three types, three categories: diamagnetism, paramagnetism, and ferromagnetism. Okay, now we see the magnetic particle testing principle. Magnetic particle testing principle. Okay, here this is the magnetism. For magnetize the material, we are using yoke type equipment here. Okay, here now we see the principle of the magnetic particle testing. See this, I will explain in a simple manner. Sir, if there is no flaw, okay, if you apply magnetism to the material, particular material, the magnetic lines, field lines are moving in parallel direction, parallel to the surface of the object. Is there any discontinuity in the material that disrupts the flow of the magnetic field lines? And there is a possibility of magnetic field leakage like this. Okay, where discontinuity is there, there is a chance for leakage of magnetic flux. This leakaged magnetic flux attracts the magnetic particles. Where the magnetic particles are accumulated, there is an indication for defect, okay, on the surface or subsurface of the component. This is the main principle. See this, here the magnetic lines are parallel, but if there is a crack, okay, the crack changes the direction of the magnetic field lines, that causes some field is leaked to the surface, Okay, that attracts the magnetic particles. If you spill the magnetic particles on the surface where the leakage of magnetic field is there, that attracts these magnetic particles. Okay, if the magnetic particles are accumulated at a one place, means there are accumulated at a particular place, that indicates there is a defect at that place. See this. Okay, here also you can see the difference between the orientation of law also influences the leakage of the magnetic flux. Here in this orientation only there is a possibility of we can find the crack. If the crack is like this, we can't find it by using magnetic flux leakage. Now I will show one video that clearly explains the principle of the magnetic particle test. Sir, this principle, sir, don't worry about long ways. Okay, this is mainly for weld joints which are not visible to the naked eye, and it is used for ferromagnetic materials like iron, nickel, and cobalt. Please just see the animation, you can easily understand. Sir, don't worry about long ways, just you can see, you can easily understand. These are the magnetic field direction without crack. See this, the path is disturbed by crack. Sir, just see the video, later I will explain. See this, sir, simply where the magnetic field lines are disturbed and there is a leakage. That leakage of magnetic field attracts the magnetic particles. Sir, in this video, you can see the practical application of the magnetic field particle testing. Okay, students. So, just you saw the procedure of magnetic particle testing in practical manner. Okay, simply, if there is any discontinuity that disturbs the flow of magnetic field lines, okay, there is a leakage of magnetic field to the surface. If you spill the magnetic particles, okay, means which are attracted by the magnetic field, automatically the particles, okay, suppose if you just if you spread the iron particles on the surface where the leakage of magnetism is there, that attracts the those iron particles, where the iron particles are moving to particular location, that gives the indication of the crack. Okay, now we see the what is magnetization of material and how to conduct the magnetic particle test and what is demagnetization. Everything we have to learn in this unit. First, we see the magnetization of material. You know, magnetization means, suppose if you take the ferrous materials, okay, those are suppose iron. If you consider the iron, just you can magnetize the iron, means if you apply the current, okay, automatically it acts as a magnet material. It acts as a magnetic material. Such kind of magnetism is called ferromagnetism. Ferromagnetism. Okay. Here, see this. You can apply the, you can convert the material into magnetic, okay, by applying current or by with the help of permanent magnets. Okay, what is the difference between electromagnets and permanent magnets? We have two types of magnets. One is permanent magnet, means those are available in nature. Okay, naturally they have the property of magnetism. Okay, one more thing, electromagnets. Electromagnets means by supplying the current, you can convert the material into magnetic material. That is called electromagnetic materials. By using these permanent magnets or electromagnets, we can magnetize the material, testing material for conducting the magnetic particle test. Okay, means one material can be converted into we can apply magnetism to the material either by means of permanent magnet or by means of electromagnets. See this, every magnet has two poles, north pole and south pole. Okay, there is a flow of magnetic field lines from the south to north to south. Okay, next we see the magnetic field using electric current. Magnetic field using electric current. By electric current, by supplying the electric current, how can you magnetize the material? Now we have to learn it. We have two types of currents. What is DC and AC? DC means direct current, and second one AC is alternate current. But if you produce the magnetic field by using direct current, it has more penetration capability. It has more penetration capability. Okay, suppose if you want to test the surface defects or subsurface defects which are nearer to the surface, then we are using AC current. We are using AC current for magnetization of the material, for convert the material into magnetic material. That is the magnetization. Okay, now suppose how to produce the DC current? We can convert the AC into DC by using rectifiers. We have two types of rectifiers, half wave rectifier and full wave rectifier. We have learned about these rectifiers in mechatronics subject in previous semester. So we can convert the AC current into DC current by using rectifiers, both either half wave rectifier or full wave rectifier. And now we are supplying the DC current to the material for convert that material into magnetic material. Okay, that is magnetization. So both currents are used. Okay, DC ranging for magnetic particle is 50 to 6000 amperes are required for DC type of magnetization. See this. Okay, here as for the position of the magnet, okay, the magnetic field lines are produced in the material. Suppose if you want to produce the radial type field, then you place the magnet like this. Okay, north pole and south pole. If you place the magnet in a vertical manner, then the magnetic field lines are produced in the workpiece in radial manner. Now come to the in this manner. Suppose if you make the position the magnet in this yoke manner, then there is a production of magnetic field like this. Okay, this is the permanent yoke. This is the shape of yoke. The magnetic fields are produced in this parallel to the surface of the component. So according to our test, okay, application, we are choosing the orientation of the magnetic fields. Based on that, we are positioning the permanent magnets on the workpiece. Okay, see this. These are the DC current. AC current is converted into DC current by using half wave rectifier. Then negative cycle or positive cycle disappear. If it is converted into full wave rectifier, okay, both cycles are in same direction. This is the rectification of the AC into DC. Next, one more method for magnetization, for converting the material into magnetic material, we have surge method. One more method we have, that is surge method. Surge method means in this method we are passing high current, very high current passing through the ferromagnetic material for a short duration. Okay, and then we are reducing that current into steady lower value. Automatically the component is magnetized to its saturation value. This is the one kind of procedure for magnetization of the materials. Next one is induction type method. Induction method. This method also used for convert the material into magnetic material for magnetization. Okay, here induction principle is based on transformer principle. Here we are suppose see this. This induction method is for finding the like ring shaped parts. This is method is induction method is used for magnetizing the ring shaped parts. We are taking a transformer, like here we have a primary winding. We are supplying the current to the primary winding. Okay, automatically this ring, which is the component, is act as secondary winding. Now here this one is the magnetic core that creates the magnetic flux lines. Those flux lines are transferred to the ring shaped part, automatically the ring shaped part get magnetized. Okay, where it is more useful, ring type shaped parts are magnetized by using induction method, and we can find the surfaces around the circumference of this ring surfaced parts. Okay, this is called induction method. Induction method is based on the transformer principle. And the next method is solenoid coil method. Solenoid coil method. This is also one of the method which is used for magnetization of the materials. Here solenoid. What is solenoid? Solenoid means is a wire. If you wound the wire around a particular element, then it is called solenoid. So now if you want to magnetize a material, suppose rod type material is there with circular cross section. If you want to magnetize this rod, okay, then we are wounding wire around the component. Okay, now we are supplying the current through this wire. Okay, the current is flowing through this wire. Okay, that creates the magnetic field. Okay, the flowing of current around the wire causes the magnetic field in the component. Magnetic field in the component. Then we can conduct the magnetic particle test. Okay, the strength of the magnetic field induced in the component is depending on the number of coils around the component and the capacity, the strength of the current passing through the coil. Those two are the main reasons for the strength of the magnetic field developed inside the component. Okay, the field strength inside the solenoid is proportional to product of current and the number of turns. Based on that, we can induce the magnetic field in the component. This method is called solenoid coil method. Okay, one more thing, alternating current method. Here the frequency of alternate current we have taken 50 to 60 cycle frequency. Commercial power lines is directly used for magnetization of in this method. Only single phase is used. Voltage is stepped up by using suitable transformers. Okay, at low voltage, magnetization current up to several thousand amperes is used. At low voltage, magnetizing current should be more, several thousand amperes are used. When using AC, the skin effect, there is a property in the AC current, that is skin effect, that is advantage for detection of surface discontinuities. Okay, here in the AC method, we are arranging the current according to the flow of current. We can arrange in this following manner. Circular magnetization is possible by using AC current. Longitudinal magnetization is possible. Coil magnetization is possible. Okay, probe magnetization is possible, and yoke magnetization is possible. All these magnetization types are possible by using alternate current. In this figure, you can see the different types of magnetization. This is the circular magnetization, means the field lines, magnetic field lines are in circularly, they are moving in circular manner. Then this type of magnetism is called circular magnetism. Sir, this type of magnetism is used for finding the defects in a surface of the cylindrical objects. Next one is here contact prods. Contact prods are used. Here the flex lines we can develop in a circular magnetism in this manner also. Okay. Next, this is the longitudinal magnetism possible by AC current in solenoid method, and here yoke mechanism is used in AC current method for developing the magnetic lines parallel to the component. And here this is the induction method. Here this method is used for getting the longitudinal magnetism using wandering cable around this kind of components. These are the different methods of magnetization. Okay, what are the different methods? Okay, by using DC current we can magnetize the material. By using AC current we can magnetize the material, and surge method by supplying high voltage, high current. Okay, we can magnetize the material in surge method. By using transformer principle we can produce the magnetic field by using induction method. And one more method, solenoid coil method. By using this method also we can produce the magnetic field lines in the component. In alternate method, these are the different alternate current methods we can use for magnetization of the material. So magnetization is the first step in the magnetic particle testing. Magnetization means we are converting our component into magnet. We are converting our component into magnet. Suppose if you have taken an iron piece, after supplying of these methods, that iron piece is act as magnet. Means south and north poles are happened in the component. Please observe. Next one is demagnetization. This is the magnetization. Sir, simply magnetization means we convert the component into magnet. Means there is a possibility of flow of magnetic field lines through the component. Okay, because magnetization is the first step in the magnetic particle test, because we are based on the flow of magnetic field lines, we can identify the crack location. Okay, next one is demagnetization. Next one is demagnetization. Okay, what is demagnetization? After completion of our test, if you complete the magnetic particle test, still some magnetism is retained in the component. Means after completion of test also, some magnetism is there inside the component. If you can't remove that magnetism, okay, it will interrupt the application of the object. Will interrupt the application of the object. Suppose, for example, if you tested a component in magnetic particle testing, you magnetize it, and then material is behaved like magnet. You have conducted test and your test is completed. Then we are going for machining of the component. Still there is some residual magnetism inside the component. What will happen? If you cut that material, what will happen? The chips which are moving from after cutting, those are stick to the material. If you place that component at any place, the foreign ferrous materials are attracted to this component. So this disrupts the application of the component. So after completion of test, we have to demagnetize. So reverse of magnetization is needed after completion of the test. Now we see what is demagnetization of the material. What is demagnetization? Removing of the residual magnetism after completion of test is nothing but demagnetization. Okay, this demagnetization is depending on different parameters. That is, first one is magnetic characteristics of material. Okay, what are the magnetic characteristics of that material also decides the demagnetization procedure, and geometry of the component also influences the demagnetization of material, and the direction of magnetization and the strength of magnetic field retained in the component after completion of test. These four parameters are important to observe for demagnetization. What are the characteristics? Magnetic characteristics of material, geometry of component, direction of magnetization, strength of magnetic field. These things are influences the demagnetization of the material. Next, reasons. What are the reasons? Why have to do this demagnetization? I already told, but point wise I will explain. First one, what is the reason for demagnetization? First one is residual magnetism, means the magnetism retained after completion of test may interfere with the subsequent machining, causing machined chips of material to adhere to the surface. Already I told, while machining, the chips are formed in the machining operation or stick to the material because already that material has some magnetism. Next one, if you welding process, if you do welding on the components which are tested under magnetic particle test, if there is some residual magnetism inside the component, if you want to weld it, the arc in arc welding, the arc produced is deflected due to magnetic field inside the component. Means we are not getting proper welding bead. Okay, if there is a residual magnetism inside the component, so we have to demagnetize. And third reason, okay, suppose the component which is tested under a magnetic particle testing has used for navigational purpose. Navigation means in navigation we have to find the direction, which is the north direction, which is the south direction, which is east, which is west. This can be found by using compass. You know that, okay, because we can't find the direction in sea. Okay, So we can find the direction by using this magnets, because north and south pole indication is done by using magnetic. Based on that, we can decide the east, north, south, and east in navigation. So if you the component which is tested and magnetic particle used for navigations, automatically the magnetism inside the component causes the disturbance. So we have to remove it. Next one, fourth point is, suppose dynamic components, so ball bearings, gear assemblies, okay, are tested on magnetic particle test. If there is a magnetism still existed in this components after completion of test, okay, this affects the finishing of those components and working of those components. These are the main reasons for removing the magnetism from the component. That is why demagnetization is needed after completion of magnetic particle test. Okay. However, sometimes demagnetization is not required. Some reasons. Okay. That type of situations also we will see here. What are the reasons where the demagnetization is may not necessary? Suppose if the material component has low retentivity, if the material component have no low retentivity means it is the allowing of magnetic field through them. That is the retentivity. Suppose the retentivity is low, okay, there is no need of demagnetization of such materials. Sometimes large components means large castings, boilers made of high strength alloys, okay, the such type of large particles, in that application this residual magnetism does not affect the service of performance. There also we can no need of demagnetization, where okay, that residual magnetism inside the component is not affecting the application of the component, then no need of demagnetization. And third one, components that undergo heat treatment. Suppose after testing the components are heat treating, then also no need of demagnetization. Okay. And fourth one, components that are held in magnetic check. Suppose the components after completion of components, if you are held in magnetic check, the subsequent operation, okay, requiring remagnetization. In that case also we no need of demagnetization, because after completion of testing also we have to magnetize that material again. No need that, because still there is some magnetism is existed. So no need of demagnetization, because it requires further magnetization. Such cases also we are eliminating demagnetization when the application is not affected by residual magnetism inside the component, then no need of demagnetization. Okay, the material has low retentivity, then also no need of demagnetization. And after completion of test also we have to magnetize again, then also no need of demagnetization. Suppose there is a heat treatment process after completion of test, there is also no need of demagnetization. In such cases we are eliminating the demagnetization, because it needs some procedure, so it needs some cost, so no need of demagnetization such cases. Okay, this is about demagnetization. Okay, these are the reasons for demagnetization. These are the why sometimes demagnetization is not necessary. Also I have explained. Okay, is it clear? Okay, now methods of demagnetization. We have three methods for demagnetization. Simply, what kind of procedure we are used for magnetization? The reverse of that, also demagnetize the material. Okay, suppose for large components, for demagnetize the large components with high hardness, then we go for AC coil method. AC coil method is the one method which is used for demagnetize the component. Next, small components. Suppose if you want to demagnetize the small components, then go for AC through current and DC through current methods. Later I will explain about these methods. And localized demagnetization. Okay, so for big or small parts, AC yoke and reverse PC yoke are used for demagnetize the local demagnetize. Suppose some part of the component is how to demagnetize it, then we go for AC yoke or reverse DC yoke methods for demagnetize the materials. So it is the reverse of the magnetization. Okay, demagnetization, that is. Okay, this is about magnetization of material and demagnetization of material. Okay, what kind of methods we are used for magnetization? If you use in reverse manner, those methods are used for demagnetization also. Okay, next we see the principle. First we see the principle of magnetic particle test. Okay, see this. Already I explained the principle of magnetic particle test. Once again, I will repeat the principle of the magnetic test. Sir, first we convert the, we have to magnetize the material. Means we are converting the material into magnet by using some current. Then magnetic lines are produced. Those are moving parallel to the surface of the component. If there is any discontinuity in the surface or subsurface, which are nearer to the surface, is there any discontinuity is there, the flex lines, the magnetic field lines are disturbed and there is a change in the direction of the magnetic field lines. Okay, the automatically that leaks the magnetic flux near to the discontinuity. Thus leaked magnetic flux attracts the, suppose after magnetization we are spilling the magnetic particles which are attracted to the magnet. Such kind of particles are spilling on the surface of the component. Means most often we are using iron particles. If you spill the iron particles on the surface of the component where there is a leakage due to the direction change of the magnetic line, that leakage part attracts the magnetic particles. Means there is a means the particles are make some heap, okay, on the surface of the components. Means those are accumulated at particular place, one place. Okay, means those particles are attracted to that particular location, means that indicates the some discontinuity is there on the surface or subsurface of the components. Based on that indication, we can find the defect in the component. Simply here, what is the indication? If all particles which are spilling on the surface, which are spraying on the surface, those particles are moving particular location. Those are accumulated at particular location, that indicates the location of the discontinuity. This is the main principle behind the magnetic particle test. But if you want to conduct the magnetic particle test, that material which is used for testing should be ferromagnetic materials. Means there is a possible, the material allows the magnetization. If the material gets magnetization, then only such kind of particle materials only we can test under magnetic particle testing. Can you test the plastic by using magnetic particle test? No, because it is a non-magnetic material, so we can't test the such kind of parts. Suppose, can you test the wood? Because wood is a non-magnetic material, we can't test by using magnetic particle test. So only magnetic materials only we can test by using magnetic particle test. Okay. Now we see the different steps involved in the magnetic particle test. Now we see the procedure of the magnetic particle test. What is the procedure? First step in the magnetic particle test is cleaning of the surface. First we have to clean the surface, that is surface preparation. Here the surface preparation also like liquid penetrant test. We have to clean the surface, we have to remove the contaminants on the surface. The oil, grease, dust, everything should be removed from the surface of surface. Okay, that is the first step. And the second step is magnetization. We have to apply the, we have to magnetize the material by using permanent magnets or electromagnets. By using these two, either permanent magnets or electromagnets, we have to magnetize the material. If you magnetize the material, there is a flow of magnetic field lines inside the component. And third steps, application of magnetic particles. Now fine magnetic particles, those are iron particles, fine iron particles are applied on the surface of the component. That is the third step. We are spilling the particles on the surface of the component where we are testing. And what is the fourth step? Examination. Fourth step is examination. We have to identify the indications of the discontinuities, where the particles which are spilling on the surface are moving towards the area where crack or discontinuity is there. By observing the accumulation of particles, we can identify the discontinuities. That is the fourth step. What is the fifth step? Last step, that is demagnetization. Still there is some magnetization is existed in the component. We have to remove that by applying the demagnetization procedure. Okay, after completion of this, temporary production is required for tested components. These are the main steps involved in the magnetic particle test: cleaning, magnetization of component, and application of magnetic particles. And the next one is examination, and the last one is demagnetization. Okay. Okay, sir. Later I will explain the remaining topics in this chapter. If you have any doubts regarding magnetic particle testing, please raise your doubts. Okay, in next class I will continue the remaining topics. Please, if you have any doubts, please raise your doubts. Sir, at 10:20 you have next class. Okay, today we don't have AE class. Okay, so after completion of this class, 10:20 you will join in the TRK sir's class. Please unmute yourself. Hello, please, anyone, please respond. 57. 57. ఏమా చెప్పేది అర్థం అవుతుందా? హలో 57, నేను చెప్పేది అర్థం అవుతుందా? హలో ప్లీజ్, ఐఎమ్ నాట్ గెటింగ్ యువర్ వాయిస్. సార్ ఫస్ట్ 3 యూనిట్స్ నోట్స్ మీకు వచ్చిందమ్మా? ఓకే ఓకే. అలాగే 6th యూనిట్ కూడా చిన్నదే అమ్మా. మిగిలిన యూనిట్స్ అన్ని కూడా స్మాల్ యూనిట్సే కాబట్టి నేను ఎప్పటికప్పుడు మెటీరియల్స్ పంపించేస్తాను. జస్ట్ ఒకసారి మీరు చదివినా చాలమ్మా. ఫర్దర్ క్రిటికల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ కూడా అవసరం లేదు. యూ కెన్ ఈజీలీ అండర్స్టాండ్. సబ్జెక్ట్ ఈజ్ వెరీ ఈజీ. ఓకే, మీకు చదివాక కూడా మెటీరియల్ చదివాక కూడా ఏదైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయనుకోండి, మీరు నాకు ఫోన్ చేసి అడగండి, లేదంటే క్లాస్లో అడగండి అమ్మా. వన్ మోర్ థింగ్, మీ ప్రీవియస్ పేపర్లో కూడా షేర్ చేశాను, చూసారా సార్? ప్రీవియస్ పేపర్స్ ఒకసారి క్వశ్చన్స్ చూడండి. ఫస్ట్ 3 యూనిట్స్ ఏ విధంగా వస్తున్నాయో మీరు ఆ ఇంపార్టెంట్ క్వశ్చన్స్ చదవండి అమ్మా. ఫస్ట్ కవర్ చేసుకోండి, తర్వాత రిమైనింగ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ అన్ని కూడా చదవండి. సార్, ఈజ్ ఇట్ క్లియర్? ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ. ఐఎమ్ క్లోజింగ్ ద సెషన్.